Okay, in the last video, we discussed the set of present in distinction. We introduced it. And now I want to work through some examples. So we started with the example of me, right? Where would I go? Well, I'm going to, in general, ask a question, pause the video, and then see if you can place where the thing would go. So if you said that I was not present in and not set of, that's right. Why? Well, because I'm a primary substance, right? What's a primary substance? Well, it's a thing. Primary substances are things. This computer, this water bottle, me, you, this water bottle. This horse, this Oriole. Last time I taught this, I found out some students don't know what an Oriole is. An Oriole is a kind of bird. I come from Maryland, and when I was growing up, there was only one local baseball team, the Baltimore Orioles. And so I don't know. That's where this example is coming from. So this Oriole, all of these are examples of substances. They're things, right? They're things. This computer, this piece of paper. They're all things, and they're all specific individual things, right? This water bottle, this horse, this Oriole, this piece of paper. And so they're all neither set of anything nor present in anything. They just exist on their own. They're sort of, on Aristotle's account, they're what there fundamentally is. They're what's actually real. What's actually real are the substances. And substances are going to have certain features, certain characteristics, right? They're going to be beautiful. They're going to be just. They're going to be pious. They're going to be equal. They're going to be 6 feet tall. They're going to be loud. They're going to be in the garden, right? So all of these qualities that substances have, the particular qualities that they have are going to be present in those substances. So this 6 feet tall or say in this piece of paper, there's this particular white, right? So my sheet of paper is white and there's this white in the paper. Or this purple. That's in my water bottle. Or this knowledge of grammar. So I have knowledge of grammar, you have knowledge of grammar, because we all know English. And this knowledge of grammar is going to be in me, right? And so there's the particular knowledge of grammar that's in my mind. And we could go on here, right? And these are all present in some specific particular substance. And so these are going to be particular accidents. So particular accidents, they're this particular 6 feet tall, this particular white, this particular purple, this particular knowledge of grammar. Those are all going to be present in primary substances. Sorry about the erasing. I don't know why I did that. There we go. Primary substances. So the particular accidents are going to be present in the primary substances. Now, we also have what's said of other things. And so if something is said of something else, it defines that thing. It tells you what that thing is. It tells you its nature, right? So it gives you the nature of the thing. Says what it is. Gives you its essence. Gives you those features that the thing must have in virtue of what it is. And so we saw one general kind of thing that's said of me is human being. You could also add, well, we'll come back to me. Human being, that's one example. Oriole, right? The kind oriole. That would be another example. Or horse. Right? That's another kind of primary substance. And so all of these things that are said of the primary substances, they're called, Aristotle's going to call them secondary substances. And remember, the only things that really exist for Aristotle are the primary substances and then their features, right? So the primary substances really are the things that exist, and then their features that that those primary substances have. Those are going to be the particular accidents. But then we can also define the primary substances. We can say what the kind of thing that they are is, and those are going to be the secondary substances. So human being is going to be the kind of thing I am. Oriole is going to be the kind of thing the oriole is, etc. And similarly, we can also talk about the kinds of accidents, or the secondary accidents. Secondary accidents. So we have 6 feet tall in general. That's the kind of accident that this 6 feet tall is. Or white in general is the kind of accident that this white is. Or purple in general is the kind of accident that this purple is. Or knowledge of grammar is the kind of accident that this knowledge of grammar is. Now notice, back when we talked about the kinds of being, right? The 10 kinds of being, substance, quantity, quality, relation, place, etc. Aristotle claimed, well, there are 10 fundamental kinds of being. How did he get that? How did he get that there were those 10 kinds of being? Well, he took all of the primary substances, and he took all of the particular accidents, and he started grouping them together into kinds. So if you take me and this horse and this water bottle, well, taking me and the horse, you might get mammal. Taking me and the horse and the oriole, you might get animal, right? So animal is another kind of secondary substance. If you wanted to say what I am, what my nature is, you could say human being, but you could also say animal, right? I wouldn't be what I am. I wouldn't be the kind of thing that I am if I wasn't an animal. And so one way of being an animal is being a human being, but another way of being an animal is being an oriole. And so there are these general kinds of secondary substances that are broader than the lower down kinds of secondary substances, which are going to be more specific to me or the horse or the oriole, right? And similarly, if we wanted to add to this list, say, the water bottle, the kind water bottle, so that's going to apply to this water bottle and all the other water bottles. And then we ask, well, what does this water bottle in kind have in common with human being or orioles or horses or any other animal? Well, what water bottles have in common with animals is that they're all substances, right? They're all beings that exist in the world, right? So they're all substances. And so that's the most general category that's going to apply equally to water bottle, to animal, to horse, to really anything that falls in either of these domains, right? That anything that's either me, you, or the water bottle, or a kind of thing, human being, oriole, horse, right? And so that's how Aristotle got up to the first kind of being, substance. They're the realities. But then he sort of kept looking. He said, well, what about the accidents? What about the particular accidents? Well, we've got this 6 feet tall, and then the kind 6 feet tall. We've got this white and white, this purple, purple. Well, what do white and purple have in common? Well, they're colors. And what about loud? What if we add loud to the list? Well, colors and loud sounds, right? So that's a sound. What do they all show? Well, they're all qualities. They're all ways that a thing can be. They're all qualities. And so quality is going to be one general kind of accident that's going to unite colors and sounds, and there are going to be different kinds of sounds, different kinds of colors, etc. Right? And 6 feet tall, you could add to that a meter long, and eventually you would get quantities, right? As the most general kind of thing that there is that's like that. Or you've got my knowledge of grammar, this knowledge of grammar, the general kind is knowledge of grammar. But, you know, maybe there's just knowledge. And, you know, maybe that's a having, right? So I have knowledge of grammar. That means I have knowledge. That means that I have something. And so that's another general kind. So anything that I have, well, you know, I also have a car, right? I have knowledge of grammar. I have a car, and so another one of the categories, another one of the kinds of being is having. And so, in general, there are going to be 10 different categories, 10 of these most general genuses, right? So, if you think here, it'll help maybe to think of you know, biology, right? If you've had biology. So I don't know if you guys remember, King Philip came over from Great Spain. So King Philip came over from Great Spain. I don't know if you remember that, but that's a kind of mnemonic device for remembering species, genus. Oh, sorry, Philip. It's a P, right? Phylum, order, class, kingdom. Oh, King Philip. King Philip came. That should be family, right? So kingdom, family. King Philip came over from. Oh, maybe this is family. Sorry. High school biology. All right, coming back to me slowly but surely. King Philip, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Anyway, so this hierarchy of kinds of animals that you would remember from high school biology, it comes from Aristotle. I mean, it's derived from Aristotle, and it's derived from Aristotle because of these kinds of relationships where you've got, you know, the categories like the kingdom, substance, and then there are going to be subclasses under that, and those are going to be like the phylums, the classes, the orders, etc., the genus, the species. And so the species is going to be human being or Oriole, but then, you know, the class is going to be animal or whatever, right? And so there's this kind of like nesting of the kinds nest in this interesting way, where the broadest kinds are things like substance, having, quantity, quality, and all of the primary substances are going to fit under one of these nesting kinds all the way up to substance in general. And all the quantities are going to fit under nesting kinds up to the general quantity, accident, quantity, and so on, right? And so, just to recap and go back to what we were talking about last time, the particular accidents are going to be present in the primary substances, right? This 6 feet tall is in me. The secondary substances are going to be said of the primary substances. So human being is going to be said of me. But I'm neither present in nor said of anything. I'm what's real. I exist. Nothing depends on me for its existence. I don't depend on anything for its existence, but this 6 feet tall depends on me for my existence, or human being in general depends on all of us human beings existing, right? So what's not said of and not present in, those are the real things that don't depend on anything else for their existence. But what's present in and what's said of both depend on the things that are not present of and not set in. And similarly, the kinds of accidents, like white is said of this white, but it's going to be present in the piece of paper via this white being in the piece of paper, right? So kinds of accidents are said of other accidents. They define what the other accidents are. They answer the question, what is it in relation to this white? But they're also going to be present in the primary substances. And furthermore, knowledge of grammar, say, is going to be the kind of thing that's in human beings. And so kinds of accidents can be present in secondary substances because human beings are the kind of things that have knowledge of grammar, say. Okay, that is Aristotle's distinction between what's said of and present in, and that is the taxonomy of the categories. So that should get you there. One more thing, I forgot to mention, think about how this builds on Plato and Plato's account of the equal sticks and the equal and the stick. And how does this give us a more detailed answer to a lot of the same questions that Plato was answering? I'm going to want to talk about that in our discussion on Thursday. Okay.